like kind of covering it up. But this is on our bus ride north to San Juan Island. This is Orca Camp number 2. I am at the Anacortes ferry line, and over there is a ferry. That's Dave. You're gonna be in a vlog. I hope you're okay with that. So that's the ferry over there. That's the big monster that we get on that goes on the water, and it carries all these cars. It's crazy. So we're gonna take a bunch of kids on there. It's gonna be great. Hopefully I can show you some pretty sweet views because it's gorgeous. So that is Mount Baker. It's one of the mountains that has snow on it all the time, and it also has a glacier on it. So it probably is still changing all the time because of glacial carving, which is really neat. And if you live in Anacortes, this is your view. It's just like a beautiful harbor, and there's a better shot of the ferry that we'll be getting on. I'm giving you a thumbs up, and there's something on my thumb. It's not poop, it's not mud. It's a limpet. We're holding hands. Got it? We're holding hands. I found him under a rock. I put him on my thumb and he attached himself to me. So now we're holding hands. Yay! This is English camp, and right now we're on a dock. And so that's looking back on it. And so we're camping kind of back in the wooded area in a little field. That's really pretty. And the sun is kind of low, so you can see the contrast over the sun setting and not. I'm not sure if it's a pod, meaning resident orcas, or if it is a couple of transient orcas, but I guess we'll find out. So hopefully we'll show you some clips soon. So this here is a barnacle that's feeding, and so you can see these little feathery feet that are coming out of what looks like the volcano. And so what happens is barnacles, they attach what is like their head to either a rock, or this is, for example, a dock, and so they attach it to the dock and then they feed with their feet. So they're filter feeders. Their feet act as the filter. And so then they bring them into their body, which is the volcano part, and then eat them inside. And so they're mostly filtering for plankton. This here is Limekiln State Park, and right now I'm standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean. The land that you see out there right now, that's the state of Washington, and those are the Olympic Mountains. And then there's this other land that's closer over this way, and that is Vancouver Island, so that's Canada. And then there's this beautiful lighthouse, and this park is really special because a lot of the orcas like to come right off here, and they like to feed on salmon out here, so a lot of the resident orcas come really close to shore sometimes. And so a lot of people are able to like come and watch the orcas by shore, and you don't have to pay for a boat. to go out, which can be kind of expensive. But the other nice thing is that a lot of the boats will stay at least a half-mile offshore, if not a full mile offshore, so that way the orcas can have plenty of room and they don't feel trapped between boats and the shore. So that's really nice. This lighthouse is still running. The light up there is turning. It's kind of hard to see it though because it's daylight. This was also our view of the sunset last night, and so the sun sets right behind the lighthouse in Vancouver Island, and it was gorgeous. However, I forgot my camera, so that's why I wasn't able to show it to you guys. And down here, this is the cliffside, and if you look, you can see there's a lot of rocks down there and a lot of algae and kelps, and so when it's low tide, which is not right now, you can actually go down in there and go tide pooling, which I've done before and gotten some great shots. So this is a really cool park because there's a lot to see and a lot to do and a lot to hike to. So I'm gonna go hike over to the place that explains why this is called Limekiln State Park. Found this sign, and it explains why Limekiln is named Limekiln State Park, but it also explains some of the history of San Juan Island and about the structure that is just beyond here. So if you look right there, that is a lime kiln, and I don't mean lime as in the fruit, like the kind you make cherry limeade with, but lime as in the type of sedimentary rock. So anyway, this kiln looks right out to the ocean, which is just beyond those trees, and you can't really see because it's really bright over there, but anyway, that's where it is. So I'm going to do kind of set my camera here on the lime kiln there and try and read the sign to you, or at least part of it. What is lime? Lime comes from limestone, the sedimentary rock formed by the consolidation of marine invertebrate skeletons. Being 98% calcium carbonate and 2% silica, iron, alumina, and phosphorus, this limestone was the purest known in the 19th century. Baked in lime kilns at high temperatures, the calcite transforms into pure lime, calcium oxide, through the process called calination. As the rock cooks, oxygen is united with the calcite and impurities are removed. Lime is reactive with many other substances, making it useful in the production of steel, plaster, cement, and paper. It's essentially just like this crazy, crazy hot oven. During the time when this mining for lime was happening, was the same time that the Americans and the English had camps on this island, and so they were, kind of in dispute about who owned the islands, and so it wasn't necessarily like an active war. They just were both occupying the island, and so they have documents that say that they lost a lot of soldiers, not due to death or anything, but because they would leave the military and they would come work for the lime kiln, so for mining for the lime out here, and because it paid them more money than working as a soldier. And so as you can see right there, there's a big hole up top, and so that's where a lot of the smoke could then escape, because I was reading, and the kiln can get to be up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's ridiculously hot. Here's some wood that was probably used to help fuel the fire in the lime kiln, and then you can see these doors right here, and so that hole was way up there, and then down here is probably where they were able to help heat it up and get some heat going. This also might be where they put the lime into it, I'm not really sure, but if you can see, it goes all the way across, so there's the same thing on the other side. It looks like from this little drawing over here that you have stuff that goes in on the top, you have stuff that goes in the middle, and then at the bottom is where the actual pure form of the lime comes out. And I want to show you the view that they had when they were working. Sorry, it was really dark in there, and then now it's really bright out here because it's a gorgeous sunny day. So this was your view if you worked here. You're kind of in like a nice little forested area, and you got a view of the ocean. That's not a bad view for work, right? I feel like a lot of people wish they had this view at work. I'm lucky enough because this is a lot of what my views are every day for work, and that I'm out, you know, tromping around in the forest, or I'm watching a sunset, or looking for tidal critters on the ocean. And so I'm very fortunate that my job allows me to do that and have such beautiful views. So those there are the Olympic Mountains, and like that little dip right there. That little dip is, what was it called? Hurricane Pass or something? Hurricane Ridge. That's what it is, Hurricane Ridge. And then there's some other mountains that I don't know their name over there. But that is across the way from here. And down here there's some tide pools, but the tide isn't, so it's kind of hard to go tide pooling right now. But I'm secretly really hoping some orcas will come by, because they were seen at 8 o'clock this morning just south of here. So I'm hoping they decide to go north and they will pass by. We missed the morning ferry because of shenanigans with ferries and whatnot. So anyway, we're on a different ferry than usual. The big ferry. There are a bunch of cars down below, and